that in the military as a functional skateboarder, you use them actually to skate because they just
Nice.
work for skateboarding. So how you take that and make it into more slimmer, streamer, more fashionable and simple. So that was the
Okay,
idea behind it.
so was this life collection your idea?
My no, the life collection was the company idea, the two founders, and I just put it in paper. All
Mm-hmm.
those ideas that they had, I brought the idea of militant, military, and functional, just
Life.
because dealing around skateboarders, seeing what they wear, like I said, cargo pants are
Mm-hmm.
military by essence. Backpack is a military invention. Uh, MA1 jackets are military invention. Now we wear them,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't know where they're coming from. And skateboarders use a lot of like military print on their jacket, on their skateboard. It was just like I was just able to tie all the elements of the influence of the sport to create a simple word, militia, militant,
Makes sense.
and
Okay, so this,
translate that into
sorry, go on.
yes. And then it became a very successful program, not as well as the main bread and butter, but it became a very successful program. We had like Puff Daddy. That was again in 2000. I think he was on Twitter or on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
He just found out about the shoes. He was crazy about that. He was so crazy. He said, "Oh, DC, call me. I need this. I need this." The site crashed. The site crashed, and then 6 months later, we made a Puff Daddy version of it.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, the site crashed really. I don't know how he got the shoes. I don't know how he got it, but he was just like called. I remember it was like a Thursday or Friday. He's like, "What's going on?" The site just went crashed. That was the first time I saw the power of a celebrity. And
Wow.
then the week later, not the week later, a couple of months later, we make a shoe for him. And then after that, Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, I
Mm-hmm.
made a shoe for him too. You know the brand
Oh,
Linkin Park?
wow.
Yeah,
I
so he was
love Linkin Park.
yeah. So Mike Shinoda, we became a friend, but so I had to go to his house, make shoes over there we designed together. And there were a bunch of other celebrities in skateboard. It was a very good program, and then Quicksilver bought these issues, so different things
That's
happened.
so cool. That's so cool.
But it was successful as far as the visibility and the visibility of the brand became beyond skateboarding because with Puff Daddy, that's hip hop. Mike Shinoda, that's like what punk rock. I don't know how you call it, rock. And then
It's
we had I forgot the other person.
it says
Uh,
Ken Block.
Ken Block. Ken Block is one of the founders. And at the same
Okay.
time, Ken Block was starting rally racing. He was
Mhm.
big, so it was a good timing. Rob Dyrdek, he was a skateboarder. He had a show on MTV,
I'm sorry,
and
what
there
was
was
his name?
Rob Dyrdek. Rob Dyrdek.
Okay. And
He was a skater, and then at the same time, he had a show on MTV. So he was wearing all those lifestyle shoes. So it was just a good look for us.
it was publicity for your brand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was just like wow. So
And
good
that's so
time,
cool.
good timing, timing.
Great timing.
Yeah. So
Okay, so how many other special projects did you lead here?
special project. What do you mean?
I mean, like
At this
making the
issue,
shoe.
at this issue,
Mm-hmm.
besides the special project of lifestyle that I started,
Mm-hmm.
and then being responsible of the design language of every shoe that went out, I also
Mm-hmm.
designed, let's say, all the pro model shoes. 90, not all, I would say pretty much 90% of the pro model shoes from Rob Dyrdek to Anthony Van England to PJ Ladd, all the athletes that were working for DC. Stevie Williams, most of them, because the athletes get paid by how much the shoes sold. So they knew that I was making a lot of good shoes. So all of them wanted me to design their shoes. So I design pretty much 90% of the DC shoes athlete shoes. Hello? 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 Hello?
Hello, I think the call dropped.
The call is locked?
I think the call dropped. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
really? I can hear you.
Yeah, I heard. Uh, the last thing I heard was you were talking about how you made 90% of the shoes for these athletes.
Yes, when I say 90%, it's like I want to say most. I don't have a number. Like every pro athlete wanted me to design his shoes, pretty much.
Okay, makes sense. I can word that in a way that won't contradict anything. I won't put in 90%, I'll say most, or uh, let's see how I'll figure it out. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. So, the next point here is that, wait. Okay, the next point, designed and directed in collaboration with the product marketing team, the women's line that grew from 5% to 35% of the whole business. So again, could you tell me a bit more about this? What steps did you take to develop and successfully launch this women's shoe line? Was it your idea? And
Yes.
what other contributing factors were there to the growth of this line from 5% to 35%?
Um,
Excuse me.
we brought okay, it's not all my idea. We
Okay.
at DC we hired a product marketing for women.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I had to work with her. She had to work with me. And so we say what we used to do, we just take men's shoes and make them pink, you know. And then
Okay.
we just said that was way too easy. So it was a common effort. It wasn't like so I decided on the technical side. I had to convince my boss that we had to make two styles of shoes for women. The professional shoes that the girl will skate in, but
Mm-hmm.
living in California, you know that there's very few girls that skate. They're more like the girlfriend of the guy who skates.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not like the skate, they're actually more of the girlfriend. So let's just make them the shoes with materials that are more girl friendly instead of making them
Mm-hmm.
pink and black, yellow and pink. No, let's just use plaid. Let's just use wool. Let's just use material that you'll see at Zara wasn't that big yet. At Zara, Topshop, all those kind of store that are girls friendly without being pinky pinky. I don't know how to say that.
Makes
So that's
sense.
pretty
Okay, so
much
you modified the materials instead of just changing the color palette.
yes. We modify the material instead of changing the color palette, and then we
Okay.
create one unique shoe that made millions uh, based on the shoe that I designed previously, on the shoe that sold one, you know,
Okay. 1 million.
that famous
Okay. Okay.
that
Makes
yeah that
sense.
famous shoe that I did that sold well. We made a women version of that. But it wasn't pink. It was just using, I would say, softer material, quote unquote, softer material. And
Okay.
we market the shoes not as for skateboard, the girl who skates. We market deliberately as the girlfriend of the skater.
Okay, so that was
You know,
your branding strategy as well.
that was me. That's for me. That's what I brought to the table. Like I don't
Okay.
like pink. I live in California. I live by the beach. I see them every day. I see the girlfriend and the
Mm-hmm.
teenager. I see either she wore Vans or she's trying to, let's just make a girlfriend of the skater. Forget about,
Hmm.
forget about athleticism of the shoes or performance. Let's just make the girlfriend shoes.
Makes sense. Makes sense. It was about the appearance more than the functionality of the shoe.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so the next bullet here is that you scheduled and prepared the team trips and market research trips. So, what were these trips, and to what extent did you lead market research functions?
I need a lot more than I did in the bigger companies such as Reebok because I was just creating something that I didn't know existed. It was pretty much I would divide a team um, every season, and in between season there were two types of trips that I would create. The trips to go to the factory to follow on the development of the shoes, and the factory
Mm-hmm.
was in China and Korea. We will go there
Okay.
and develop the shoes. Then, before we leave China, we will go to what we will call market trip, meaning that go see what's out there in the world. Since you're in Asia, I will send some designer to Japan. I myself will go to Shanghai, is another part of the team. We will go around the skate-friendly neighborhood, take pictures, look at people,
Mm-hmm.
try to talk to them, understand the market. Come back to the States, analyze that, put some notes, put some try to organize our thought and our picture. Then send another team sometime maybe to Chicago, the other one to New York, take pictures, San Francisco, organize that, and build the following season based on our market trend, which is some kind of semi-scientific approach.
Mm-hmm.
What we saw trending, and build the season around that. And then there
Makes
will
sense.
be other trips where I will send the kids, the designer to see a vendor, to see a retailer, maybe or to go to a skate park. So I will organize that. It was all organized in future seasons to take notes. It will be fashion, trends, functionality, what's available somewhere else. I remember that's 2010. It
Mm.
wasn't global economy like it was today. Like people will wear things in Japan, not even in Japan. People will wear stuff in New York that people don't even know in California.
Makes sense. There
So
wasn't there wasn't as much awareness
there
or
was,
connectivity to know.
yeah, it wasn't as
I'm
much as
sorry.
it is today, where everybody in New York dressed the same as
Mm-hmm.
in Japan. You still have to discover niche things, go to museum, go to anything. So I organized a lot of that. I had no
Okay.
budget again to manage.
Okay, so these trips, were these your idea?
Yes.
Did you initiate them?
Oh, yes. I
Okay, so
fought for them.
you went to the company and you were like, let's start this trip tradition. Let's do these
Yes.
annual trip. Okay.
Yes.
And there were two trips. One was international to China, where the manufacturers were. You took them to
Mhm.
the factories, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
the other was more
There are
local.
there are three trips. One at the
Okay,
factory,
three.
and then we
Mm-hmm.
go around Asia. Second trip
Mm-hmm.
domestically or Europe.
Okay.
So there's Europe too. And the third trip was more like a business trip where you will go to see a retailer, a specific retailer, and he will
Mm-hmm.
talk about
Okay.
your brand. He will talk to you about what's going well, what's not going well. There are three levels.
Makes sense. Okay.
Hmm.
So the last point here is that you worked closely with the sales team and key retailers to help them
Yes.
grow their business by creating specific programs. So, what were these programs and how did it facilitate business growth?
How?
What programs were these?
Program is the same thing like we did with GTC and Reebok. You will go to, let's
Okay.
say, Skate World, and then they will say, we want the cost graphic in black suede. Oh yeah? Okay, give it to you. How much you buy it? 15,000 pair. Oh no, 17. Great. Let's do it tomorrow. That was the thing we do program. And the other program that I wasn't involved, that was the buybacks program. That was more like sales program, all those kind of
Hmm.
stuff. But on the design, it was more like I would go to Arizona to a retailer, and then we make a specific shoes for a store, and they would buy a couple of, and we would design together. Those are the
Okay,
design programs.
and it says that you worked closely with the sales team. So, did you develop this cross-departmental collaboration, or was it already there?
No, it was the sales team who would pretty much hint us to which retailer they want to work with.
Okay,
They
got
would
it.
pretty much say, hey, let's do this with them. Go check that out. Send somebody there. So I would send a designer, I would go myself. And then, you know, usually the
Makes
hint
sense.
will come from the who are executing the hints of
Hmm.
the headlights of the sales team.
Okay.
Because it was a smaller company, unlike Reebok, I was really close to the sales team. I had closer look, because Reebok was huge, where DC was like a family, so it was very, wasn't very
It was
vertical.
close knit. It
Yeah,
was close knit.
yeah.
Okay, makes sense. So, do you have the design director before we move on to design manager?
I'm done with that.
Okay, so we'll move on to when you were the design manager and senior designer. So the
Hmm.
first bullet here is that you introduced the concept of line planning to help
Yeah.
optimize the design resources and the relationships with factories as well. So what
Hmm.
is design, what is line planning?
Okay, line planning was deciding how many new models versus, because when I started DC Shoes, there was no product marketing like you have in all those big footwear companies. It was just design,
Okay.
sales, and the boss. So the design did everything. So there was so
Mm-hmm.
much waste when I came at DC. We were designing 16, 17 models to just make maybe three. Every designer had an
Okay.
idea, we just make it. The boss had an idea, we just make it. So it became untenable. So when I got there, I said, hey guys, we need to plan. We cannot just design when we want because the factory is tired, we're losing money, and then we're not even achieving anything. So I pretty much said to the sales team, or not to the sales, I said to my boss, like, what sold last season? Let's keep that. And what you then said, forget about it. And then before we design for the new season, let's choose one performance, function, and looks. Maybe one pair of each. That's it. So that was the first level. The second level was material because I had back then, unlike big company, we were choosing material. So we couldn't just use a little bit of leather here and not over there. So you have to harmonize our supply yield to make sure that to lower the price, the cost of the price. So we couldn't make a line of 20 white shoes and one black shoe. The black shoe didn't make sense because it was not enough money. It was too expensive. So it's just harmonizing, slimlining the 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 the, um, the
The
process.
supply?
The process of the supply chain demand, the process of the amount of design that we do, the process of the shoe. It was just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. And I didn't even know better. It was just to me a mess. To tell you the truth, when I say that, I didn't even know that that's how it was made elsewhere. I just said, let's organize the shoes that sold well. We keep doing them. What didn't sell, we cut them. The new design, it's not just any design and having an idea that we make the shoes. We decide what are the best five maximum. We present as a group to the team, and let's go at war with them. That was pretty much what I did without even knowing that was the game. until we hired that lady product manager and that guy product manager, and they took over that job, line planning.
Oh, wow, okay. But you introduced line planning.
Yeah. Oh, expand the line. We cannot just make shoes because I can make 20 shoes myself if you guys want to, you know. It was a mess.
But that's just
It was a very,
go
I
on.
mean, the business owner, they were very good. They knew and they understood. I mean, they had no idea, me neither. But I was the one seeing the mess. I was the one seeing the mess. I was the one overworked, meaning that we would stay till 11, 10 p.m. on weekdays just designing shoes. And then
Oh,
at the end,
wow.
I would see of those 20, 30, just two made it. Come on.
That's a waste of resources and effort.
Yes, I guess I was the only one married in my design team. Maybe that's why he was bad. He was taking a toll on me. Maybe I knew that I had to fix it. They were all young. They were all young guys. So maybe because I was the only one married, I was like, "Hey guys, let's work smarter.
That's
Let's work
that's good.
smarter."
Okay, so just to clarify that I understand it, you said let's work smarter. You identified wasted potential and capital. Then you strategized a way to streamline the whole process by eliminating designs. You started filtering the designs instead of
Yes.
making 20. You started
Mm.
saying that let's pick the best ones, let's
Yes.
pick the best selling items and produce
Mm.
those, and
Yes.
you also streamline the supply process, so the supply chain, the back end supply process, by saying that instead of ordering 20 items of white, which is in bulk and saves you money, and then just ordering 10 of black, let's not do that. Either diversify or equally
Yes. It's
distribute
just
the cost.
yes, harmonizing the use of material and supplies of letters.
Material.
Like if you use a pink, you have to have
Mm-hmm.
a lot more shoes to use pink, not just on one, because in
One.
business, if you buy in bulk, it's cheaper than if you buy a small account.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was
Okay,
kind of the
I
idea.
makes sense. Okay,
Yeah,
so let's move on to
and
the.
really, I don't know professionally how to say that, but it was really to not waste my time being at work at 10 p.m. Just make sure that I go home, I have a good night, I have a good amount of shoes, and we do a good job.
Yes, it is wasted human resources as well. You're wasting the people's effort, and
Hmm.
there's not enough return on investment here.
No.
Makes sense. Okay. So the next point is that you focused mainly on designing pro models and technical shoes. So what kind of technical shoes did you focus on here?
Uh,
And what
promo. I
unique
mean,
challenges? You on?
uh, the unique challenges is that pro models are the most technical shoe that we had. So the challenge was to understand how every skater skates, number one,
Mm-hmm.
and design according to the way he skates, make it work, and also the way it looks. So the technical part was easy. Now the look, the designer will go and take Adidas shoes and say, oh, make this. And you're like, hey, guy, can I make an Adidas shoe? It's Adidas. You are DC. So it's very being polite and showing him new